So now we have our data frame. We define the schema of the data frame. We know that the schema contains the name and the data type of the columns. And columns, and in Apache Spark, columns are similar to columns in a spreadsheet. So we can select them, manipulate them, or remove them from a data frame. We can see all the columns available in a data frame using the columns method. So let me create a new row, a new cell here. We have our customer data frame. We can use the columns method, and it will return an array of all columns available in the data frame. We can also use the show the print schema method to get more information about each column and its data type. Print schema, and it will return the same list as previously, but now the list will include the column name and the data type, and also if the column can have null value or not. Now let's see how we can then query specific column from a data frame. So let's say we want to select only the first 3 rows, 3 columns of a data frame. There are multiple ways to select the columns of a data frame, and we will go through them now. So let me add a new row here. Here we go. So the first way we can reference the column of a data frame is by using the select method on the data frame. So we have customer.select, and now you can pass in a column object or a column name. So let's start with the column name. We say we want to select the first column, and you can see it selected the first column, and we get a data frame back. This is because a data frame is immutable. That means everything you do with a data frame will always return a new data frame. You cannot change an existing data frame. So the only way to change a data frame is by applying some transformation on the existing data frame, and that one will return a second data frame. So now so this is how we can select it. So let's put the show method here, so that let's say we want to see the first rows, the first 5 rows, and it will return us the customer SK, the 5 first row. So one way to reference a column is by using the select method and pass in the name of the column we are interested in as a string. The second way is to use a method to construct a column object from the data frame. So we can use the call method and do the same as previously. Pass in the customer SK key, press enter. Okay, there's one error here. The value call is not found. The reason for this is because we didn't import the type call or columns. So let us do that. We have to import the package org.apache.spark.sql.functions, and from here we need call. We need these 2 functions. Let me execute that row. Exactly. Now it was executed, so let us execute this row again. Now you can see that when we passed in the call function with the name of a data frame, we then get with the name of the column, we then get the column back. This method is the same as this one, as the column one. So we can then say give us the C customer ID. Now we get two columns. So these are the two easiest way to reference columns of a data frame by using one of those two methods. There are also some short way to do it if you are working with Scala and only with Scala. So, but please first remember that these are column objects and not strings. So now there's also a way to do it without using method name. The first one is by using the hyphen and pass in the column name. Let's say C first name and run it. What am I done? Exactly. Now you can see that in Scala, when you use hyphen before a string, it automatically creates a column object out of it. So the fourth way is, there's also a fourth way to do it. We can use the $sign and then pass in the column name. So all these four ways are equivalent and are the same. So let me run the cell. Now we have the two IDs, the first name and the last name. So let me show you something again. Add a new cell here and do customer dot select. Let's say C address SK. I hope this column exists. C current address. Let me select this column. Dot show. Let's say the vice first. This one. So we can pass in the name of the column as string to the select method, and it will return a data frame with only one column. We can pass in the name of multiple columns. So let me do this. Copy this one, put it there. Let's put it also there again and run that row. And so we can pass the name of the column as comma separated string enclosed with hyphens. So this is one overload of the select method. This overload of the select method takes in strings, and this overload of the select method takes in columns object. We cannot mix both of them together. What I mean by that is, if I then pass in here something like this, or even let me pick up this one and put it here. This is not allowed because this is the overload can either text in column object or strings, and the first, these are columns objects and this is a string. So if you run this cell, it will fail. And as you can see here, the name of the error, overload method value select with alternatives. And so we have around 5 ways we can select values from a column.